Welcome to our introduction to Power BI for Excel pivot table users. Now, if you're familiar with Excel pivot table, then you already know how powerful data analysis can be. But have you ever wanted to take your data analysis to the next level? Now, that's where Power BI comes in. Now, Power BI is a business analytical service by Microsoft that lets you connect to and analyze data from a variety of sources. It's a powerful tool that can help you turn raw data into actionable insights. Now, and the best part is you don't need to be a data analyst, data scientist to use it. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you how to get started with Power BI by building on your existing Excel pivot table skills. Now, we're going to start with the basic and work our way up to more advanced features so that you can get a solid foundation in Power BI and start unlocking its full potential. Now, in level 1, Apprentice, we'll cover the basics of Power BI, including how to connect to a data source, create a simple report, and use visualization to visualize your data. Now, you'll see how easy it is to get started with Power BI, even if you have never used it before. Okay, so whether you're a business owner looking to gain insights into your data, marketing who are trying to analyze the campaign for marketing guy who is analyzing the campaign performance, or just someone who loves to use data in operation, in finance, Power BI can help you to take your analysis to the next level. Now, so let's get started with level 1, Apprentice, and see what Power BI can do for you. All right. So let me share my screen. Okay, let me introduce myself. My name is Jason, and I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, as well as a Microsoft certified Power BI data analyst. All right. So in order to get started, let's launch Power BI. I hope you have installed Power BI on your computer. All right. I have one over here installed. It's called Power BI Desktop. Now, in the whole course itself, I'm going to bring you through from the beginning all the way to the end, and what can you show your boss and what your boss can do with the Power BI report. So let's wait for the launch of Power BI Desktop. Now, if you need to do the installation, just Google Power BI Desktop download, and it'll bring you to the Microsoft website and download the Microsoft Power BI Desktop. If you need the link, you can always find this in the YouTube video comments, or you can just drop me an email or a message. Okay, now when you launch Power BI, you will see this green screen. Now, Power BI Desktop has many versions, and they are continuously going on an upgrade. This green screen shows you that this is the latest versions of Power BI. Now, this green screen is just an indicator. I would not want to use this. Of course, once you're very good at this, you can get data from anywhere, right? So let me close the screen. Now, the version that I'm using here is, I'll go to File, we go to About, and they will show you the version that you're in. So this version I'm using is, okay, here, the version's March 2023 version, all right? So let me close this. Now, once you launch Power BI Desktop, first thing first is to get the data. Now, assuming that we have a perfect set of data, so let me go into my Microsoft Explorer. Okay, assuming that you have a set of data like mine, there are many worksheets here. Each worksheet contains a set of data. I'm going to start with one that says, for example, the perfect sets of data that you have. So let's drill in first to look at the data source in Excel, how the data columns are like, so that you have a better understanding of the data sources itself. And that will be very, very helpful for you when you do your Power BI report. Okay, so it has a sales order number. You have the sales order line. So one order itself, you can have 1 to 10 lines. So here shows line number 9 and line number 10. Okay, the order date, the due date, the shipping date. Now, later when I create the report itself, I'm not going to use the due date as well as the ship date. All right, they have the product key, they have the reseller key. You notice that in this report itself, all of them are coded with keys. Ideally, that will be a perfect way to start. In your perfect data, of course, you could have all this instead of product key, you have product. We're going to go into that version there when you can change the product name, or with a product key, how do you connect to the product details? All right, the reseller details as well, the profile, any promotion, who is the salesperson that closed a sale, okay, in the which territory it is from, how much did he order for this particular product, and of course you have the unit price, the total product cost, as well as the sales amount. Okay, so first thing first is you need to close this Excel data source. So let's go into Power BI desktop. Now, the way to put the data is to, there are many icons here. I'm not going to use those. The best icon to use is to get data, because all sources are shown in there, and you can go to more. And once you go into more, you can see more data sources. All right. So let's wait for it to come out. Okay. Now it pops up here. Now you have all the sources. You can also classify and look at the different types of data. You have those that are in file type. Excel workbook is definitely a file type. You have CSV files. You have this that is also popular in certain areas like XML, JSON. If you know that, perfectly good. All right. You can also actually connect to databases here. We're not going to go through all these categories. I'm just going to show you that you can explore a lot more as you advance further into the higher levels. So in here, I'm going to go to File, Excel Workbook, all right, connect to an Excel workbook. Now you can go to the folder and choose the data that you want. So I'm going to use the perfect data that I showed you earlier on, okay? And you can either double click or you can click open, and that will import the data into Power BI. So let's wait for it to connect. Okay, now they will show you the number of worksheets in the file itself, and I only have one worksheet, sheet 1. So when I click onto sheet 1, okay, they will give me a preview of the data as what I've shown you there and the columns that are inside there. Now, in order to use these sets of data, you need to specifically go to the checkbox here to check and say, I want to select the data from sheet 1. And once you do that, the basic beginner apprentice level, you will want to just simply load the data into Power BI desktop without any massaging, any cleaning up. Okay, we assume that the data is perfectly good and you can straight away do your visualization. Okay, now once you have the data over here, all right, in this portion here, you can actually pull data. I can pull the sales amount. You see a summation sign here. It shows you that the amount is a number, and you have already summed up the number for you, right? So all you need to do is to drag and drop it into the y-axis. And once you join the y-axis, you will see a line, a dot forming here because the amount is total up. Now, to break up the amount into month, I will drop the month into the x-axis, and you will see a line being plotted. Now, this is still not accurate itself. This is still not accurate because this consists of 2 years. Each month contains of 2 years of data. Now, to get the correct perspective and the correct visualization, we need to take the year and drop it into the legend. And once you drop it into the legend, you will see 2 line being formed. One line is for, this one is the darker color line, 2019. And this line is for the lighter color blue, which is 2018. Now, if you click onto 2019, you notice that it will highlight this line and they will fade off the blue line. If you click onto the 2019 again, both lines will become clearer. 2018, you see that the 2019 number is being faded off. Okay. So let's do one visual first. Now, once you do this visual, the more important thing is how do you share this visual or this chart with your boss? Now, of course, you do not send the file to your boss as is, even though you can. But the great idea of Power BI is that you can send the link to him, and he can actually use the browser to look at the chart. Okay, so let's say you have created one visual as a starting and you want to publish it. So before we can publish, we will want to save this file, save as, and give the data, this file, this Power BI file, a name. All right, so let's go into Power BI here, and let's go into a temporary folder, and let's call this level 1 apprentice file. Maybe I put level 1 apprentice 2. Okay, I have a version here. So let me click save. All right, once the file is saved, we can then publish it into Power BI services. Right, so go to publish. Now, if you are using the free version, you will have only my workspace. Mine is premium version. Mine is a pro and premium version, and I can create more workspace. All right, in your corporate, you could be using more of this if the corporate has a paid version. But if you don't have, my workspace works pretty well. Okay, so for my case, I'm going to go into the Power BI demo workspace. All right, and I'm going to publish inside the Power BI demo workspace. Okay, it will run, publish, process. It takes a bit of time, and once it's done, all right, it will show you here open level 1 apprentice. That is a file name in Power BI services, or you can call this online. So if you're not, you can actually log in into the apps. So let's click onto the link. That will be the fastest way to log in. All right. Okay, you need to log in into your email. App itself has a version there, and you can actually use your Office 365 account to either sign in to the account itself, or you can also register for one. All right. Okay, once you're into powerbi.com, you will see your chart appearing here. This has a very similar effect of Power BI desktops. Slightly different from here is that you only see the filter. You don't see the screen here called data as well as visualization, unless you are editing the file, right, which is over here. Now, you won't want your boss to edit the file, but what you can do is send this to him, right? Take the link. Now, there are a few ways you can also share the file with him. You can click onto the share, all right, and type in the name of your boss, your co-workers, your colleague, your staff, and they can also get a view of the file, and they will get the link, and they can access this Power BI desktop online without using Power BI desktop. Okay, now they can also change this if you want to give to people with existing access or specific person. All these are these are all configurable. All right, and choose what you want to do with the setting. Now, the other way that you can share this also is into you can chat this in team. All right, if let's say this is a regular report and you want to generate a discussion. Another way to do this is you can share, copy a link. All right. You can also go to share, put into Teams. There is also one that you can straight away when your boss log into this report using the link, then he can give comment as well, chat into Teams. Now, what if you have a report and you want to share this with the public in case, let's say, purely they don't have an account and this information is, let's say, non-confidential, right? Very important, non-confidential. Now, you can actually go into the three little dots here. No, you can go into the file here. They also have this embedded report. SharePoint Online. You see, you can also share this report online to the website intranet. Now, this portion here, of course, I'll caution you just for the perspective of looking at the data itself. You can publish it to the website and view by anyone. All right. So once you publish this, they will say create embedded code. Okay, publish. Once you publish, you can go into the website, copy this HTML code here and create a platform, or you can simply take the link, all right, copy this link. Now, let me show you if I'm in incognito window when I'm not logged in, right? Now, I paste this link, which is super long with lots of different characters, so it's quite difficult to hack, but I'll still caution you from using the public one, especially with any flight information that are confidential. Okay, so in here, I would like to share this publicly with anyone, and once it process, you will see that it shows up the chart, and it is still interactive. I click on to 2019. Okay, you'll show the 2019 number. If I click on 2018, the line will grade off. Now, this is very important because it gives you the focus of the Power BI desktop. All right, very important. Now, let's go and leave this. Let's leave this alone. Let's go into Power BI. We can continue to create the Power BI desktop. So once you have this, now very important in okay, this will form the first sections of Power BI data visualization. Of course, this is not a complete level one. It gives you a good feel of how can you quickly publish a chart in Power BI. All right. So hopefully, if I can play around with it straight away, I want to create a single page. Now, next, I'm going to create another visual. I'm going to complete the visual with a set of data that can give me a good view and a good analysis without much effort using the Power Query as well as the modeling part of the Power BI desktop. Now, I need the header. So if you want a header here, all right, you can go to Insert. You can go into a text box. When you create a text box here, okay, this text box is actually dynamic. So let me show you. I can put the text box here. I can extend it and say, let's cover up the top part of the page and publish it here. Okay, let's do something like this. And let's say here, I say monthly sales performance, or let's say not say monthly sales performance. You can say sales performance for the year. Now, in most of the time when you do a report here, it can be pretty static and say the year doesn't change. But here, you can add a value and you can say this is the order year. And you simply just type in order year. Power BI will detect for you and it says order year, order due year, or order sheet year, because we have due date, order date, as well as sheet date. So I want the order year, and it says 2018 over here. Let's say I do a save of that X value. You can give it a name. Okay, then let's highlight the whole thing here. Okay, I need to highlight this. Change the font size to something huge enough to see. You can bold this. All right. I want to color the header with a base color. And that is when you go to the formatting part, once you have the, what is this called? A text box. Okay, you have this general formatting. You can go to the effects here. Go to the background. I want to change this color to, say, a dark blue color. So let's use this dark blue color. Okay, I will change the font size into white, contrasting. I can centralize the visual here, the text box here and the title. You still can resize the banner if you don't want such a big one. All right, this may make it look nicer and slender. Now, okay, let's play with this dynamic text box. Now, click onto the 2019, and you see the year change on the title. Click on to 2018, your same sheet to 2018. Now, the beauty of this Power BI is that everything is configurable. So let's jump back into the line chart here and say, now I want to create this line chart, but you notice that it's a month. I don't need the month because obviously January to December is telling us that this is the month. So I can go into the visualization panel here, build visual. The next one is formatting visual. So click onto this formatting visual. Let's see, we can go into the general part. Okay, sorry, visual part here. We go to the x-axis and expand. These are all the components you can see. You have values, you have title. The title is for the month here. Turn this off. And the month disappears. All right. Now, this is definitely not the full view. If you look at this, oh, this is too tiny. I want to change the font size. Beware. All right. You need to make sure that you are at 100% view over here, roughly. And this is actually the proper full view on screen that you're going to see here. So this chart, the font size will be this. If you think that this is still too small, you can go to the visualization part, go to the values, and increase the size. Say I want to change it to 12. Okay, this may be more comfortable. Sometimes for your boss, easy to read. That is very important. Now, we can have the sum of sales amount here. We can also don't have it because we already have a title which will describe my visual. So same thing, we'll go into here, then go to y-axis. Okay, in here, I'm going to take the title. I'm going to turn it off. Done. Now, what about this title here? That's one, it will be under the general portion. Go to general, there is a title. And in this title, it says sum of sales amount. You can change this, but this is intelligent enough. All right. Okay. You can also do your fixed line. If you want the line, the header to be bigger, it is configurable from here as well. Let's say I put in 18 pixel size here. I will centralize this for the chart itself, and I can resize this. So this will look nicer over here. Now, for us to work on this, it is good to see the whole canvas. So usually I can click onto this little icon to fit to page. That will give me a full view, expand this, and it will adjust itself. Now, the other thing about a line chart here is you can view this, all right? It will still be clickable. Very important that you can see the effect. Now, I can actually adjust this and go to the right to the left-hand side of my canvas, bottom left. This text box, I can extend this and push it all the way up to the top so that it fits the whole screen, right? We want to make full use of all the spaces that we have. Now that we do one of the chart here, I'm going to do another one, and this time around I'm going to do a column chart. Click onto empty space. The visualization visual panel appears. Click onto column chart. I'm going to put in the quantity. Okay. Oh, before we go into the quantity part here, okay, let's delete this. Now, another important function of a visual, especially a line chart, is that you can draw lines in it easily. I show you how to do visual. I show you how to format your visual. There are tons of the things that you can explore. All right, there is an analytical part here. This analytical part allows you to draw different types of line. Now let's jump in, and I'm going to create an average line for the sales over here. So I can click on the average line. I can add a line, and in this line itself, okay, I can use series sum of sales amount. And you notice that once I click onto add line, there is a line that show up here. Right, so this will be the average line that you can use. Done. So let's put this. Now notice that I want this chart to occupy half the canvas. We call this whole thing the canvas. If I occupy half the canvas, there is a line that will guide me, so it won't go wrong. Now let's create another visual on the column chart and on the order quantity. So I can click onto the cluster column chart here, resize it, make it the same size. Remember, looking at the line itself, this will show us that it will be same size, right? Of the chart for the line chart itself. Now, alternatively, if you want to make sure everything is perfectly the same, including the font, and you don't want to do extra formatting, all right, delete away the column chart, take the visual, all right, right click, copy visual, or you can use Control C. Then paste the visual, you need to use Control V, V for Vienna. And now we got two visual. And once you have the setup here, you could go into the column chart and say, I want to change this line chart and change into a column chart. Done here, it shows Monday, Friday. Of course, this is not what we want. We open up the data. Look at this, it says by month, it is correct. Sum of sales amount, I want to go by order quantity, but before we adjust this, legend, it says order date. I don't want the order date. I don't want a day to day number. So I'm going to remove from the legend. I'm going to put in the same thing, a year. Okay, let me do something different. I'm going to put the whole hierarchy into the legend, and it will show me the year over here. Okay, another way to do this is I can put in the date hierarchy into the x-axis. Now you see order date, year, quarter, month, day, and then it's order date. So I need to remove the subsequent one. I can remove the day. So it give me month. It can give me quarters. So I can drill down and it can give me monthly sales. Okay, not this one. This one, it will give me the monthly sales by year, by quarter. This is not nice to look at. I'll show you how that, how should your boss, or if you are the boss, how to view this chart in a nicer way without, taking out extra valuable space when you view the report. So let's drill up. That will be in quarter, drill up, and that will be in year. 2 columns for the year. So let's go and drill down. I want to see this by quarter. Okay, let's say if I were to click onto quarter 4 2018, you will see that the line chart will change to show you the sales for that quarter 2018. All right, click again and the line chart will appear. So they are actually interacting with each other. Now, the legend here shows the date here. So if I click onto 2019, you notice that this gets grazed off, the line shows up here. So they are again still interacting, and this is showing the column chart. All right. What else do I want to show you? I want to actually remove the year. I want to show just only the quarters, and this gives me the view that it is by quarter, and the year will be by using the legend. So this will show me 2018, 2019, click 2019, this gray off. Okay, then I click onto 2018, then the other one gray off. So it gives you the focus of which year it is in. Now, sum of sales amount, I don't want to do sales amount, remember? So I can actually go into the y-axis, remove this. Of course, the chart will disappear momentarily. Let's go into order quantity, put into the y-axis. Now I have the sales sum of order quantity by quarter and by year. Okay, let's continue to build. Now, another way for your boss to be able to configure and do a selection, we can put in a filter. We call it a slicer here. So there is a visual here on the 4th row of the visualization part here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th row, sorry. First icon, click onto the slicer, and there will be another box that appears here. Now in this box, I can put in the year as a field only. Okay, and of course, this is a line, not easy for us to actually control the lines. What I would recommend you to do is go to the formatting, go to the slicer setting, and you can change the style. They have different ones. The one that I think it is easy to click and view would be tile, and that will show you buttons over here. Now you can reduce the size of the height of the slicer, and you will then present the two buttons left and right. Okay, format the visual. Okay, I'll come it back. Okay, let's format the visual. Okay, let's format it later. Now I want to put in also the logo, because this report itself is for a company, for your company. So if you have the company logo, you can go to the insert tab here, go to image. All right, I prepare an image here for use, and this image should be the bicycle, because this company deals with bikes. So I'll insert the bike here, put it in, okay, adjust it to be either in the central part or in the top left-hand corner here. Now you can also remove the background for this separately to make sure that it covers the whole thing without all the white border. Okay. Okay, I will now then show you. Now, if you create a visual like this, one of the biggest problems is it looks like Excel. So why should I learn Power BI, right? Okay, now there could be no difference if you are able to control this in Power BI in Excel as well, but just that in terms of the sharing part, it will be easier to do. The other thing that I learned is when I create this visual, how do I make it more professional? Okay, and if you're dealing with color, is going to be tough. Not everybody is good at color matching. For one, I'm one that is not very good with color matching. So how do I then make it look professional? Okay, that is a trick here. Now, after years of researching and asking questions, looking at all the different views, I discover one simple secret. Now, the simple secret is you can, even if you put a color here, it is not going to look nice, all right? Trust me, you can try it on your own, but I'm going to show you the little secret I have. Put a background picture into this report. I'll tell you, you'll change the whole thing. Okay, let me show you. Go into this report here. Click onto the formatting. This is for the page. There are two things you can change. The canvas, which was complete and fill up only up to this line. Below will be empty. The wallpaper will cover the whole thing, and I'm going to use a wallpaper mode. So in wallpaper here, you can browse and put an image. So I've already Googled and find a bike image nicely relevant. Now you don't have to put in boring little product pictures in there. You can really find a picture of a scene of a bike riding into the natural countryside, and that could be something of a very good perspective. You can always change the picture at any time. All right, that will change the view of the report without changing the visual. All right, that is very important. So let me open this and import this in. You see, bum, this report, this bike go in, but it's a bit too big, right? So what you can do is you can go into, say, normal fit, or you can fill the wallpaper with the bike. So now you see the wallpaper behind, and still not very nice because of the white patches of the screen. So first thing first, what we could do is take the visual, go to general, go to the effects, and you can put the transparency at 100%. And you notice that, of course, not very nice if you put 100%. You see the line, but you cannot see the picture here. So what I would suggest you do is put it about 70%. Very comfortable. If you want to be very precise, use this one to clock in to 70%, and that is how the visual will look like. Now, this means that now my font is not so obvious. Okay. Okay. Let's look at this. Now, the idea is not to change the visual further first, but to fit the picture to go into the background and not steal the show. So to do that, we go into click onto empty space again. We go back into the formatting of the page, go to wallpaper, fade off the chart by giving it a transparency. Now you see that as I fade off, again, I'm going to use just 70%. And you nicely see that the picture will fade off. If you think that this is still too obvious, change it, increase the fading part to say maybe 80%. So let's try 80%. Okay, now you notice that it is very different from a white patch here because the screen, a faded picture itself gives you a little bit of tones and color. And this natural picture itself gives you all the different combinations that works pretty well. So you don't have to stress over, oh, what is the color that I need to match with the visual and everything. So this is one important part in basic data visualization. If you want to wow your bosses, this is what you should do. All right. Now, coming into that, you can fit this picture here. You can also go into the visual, go to general. You can also put in a color for the background. Let's say I can put in contrasting with this. Maybe I want to put in green. I would go to look for green color. If I cannot find green here, I can go to more color. Okay, choose something of a green. Okay, and look at the instance view, not nice, slightly fade off, not so much. You need to blend in slightly. Okay, now if you don't know how to look at the contrasting, ask your colleague to look at. Okay, ask your spouse to look at. That will be useful. You know, ask your girlfriend to look at. If you cannot, then you're on your own. Okay, so this will give me a very nice fade off. I can still see the color. Remember, always go 200% to look at the visual itself to see how it turns out. So this one actually looks good. All right, so let me fit this to screen. Now, everything here can be configured. This background I can also configure. I can also use the same green, but I want to contrast this a little bit because I don't want to make them see like they are together. Right, this is a bit of contrast because it's two different charts. So I'm going to go to the effects here. Let's do a little bit of light blue. Okay, fade it off because the what you call that, the actor and actresses is not the background, so you need to only blend it off as the supporting actor. All right, so give it a slight blue color, fade it off, still can see the thing, but there's a little bit of contrast. All right, color sensitivity, I think 80% works pretty well, so let's go into 80%. Okay, so now you get green contrast with blue. You can draw a border. In this chart here, you can go into the formatting. They do give you border as well if you want to. Okay, it's our visual border. Click on this slight border to contrast against the picture. So I leave it to you how you want to do this. I think border may work pretty well here. So let's go into the border general. Go into the effects here, go to the border, turn it on. You can change the color of the border. You can thicken the color of the border as well. Everything can be configured in here. Okay, so I'm going to leave this as is. I'm going to show you some more effects of the publishing part. Now, of course, slicer here, we want to do the change. And in here, we have the order date. I don't need the year because 2016, 2018, 2019 will tell me that they are year. So I can go to the formatting, go to the slicer header, turn off the year. This looks better. But at the same time, remember, it needs to be contrasting. I don't want white patches because white patches definitely will make your chart looks like clustering here and there. Okay, like seems like copy and paste from somewhere. So I'm going to take the effects. This time round, I'm going to put this as 100% see-through. Now, then the button itself, I can also color by going into the visual part, the slicer values, and I can change the background. Okay, I'm going to, there's no color right now. I'm going to give it a little bit of darker blue. Then I change the font size to white. Okay, now this one, you want the number to look big at 100%. So let's go to 100% to adjust. Okay, this number can be as big. So I'm going to put this as 20 pixel. You can change your font as well. You can bold. Okay, so let's go back to the canvas. Now, if you click on 2018, this will give you the view of 2018. Click on 2019, it shows you the view of 2019. If you want, you can click onto quarter two, show you the numbers, click here. If not, you can also click into the individual part. So there are lots of parts that you can use to configure. Okay, so right now, if you've done this, then what is important is you want to publish this onto Power BI online and share this with your colleague, all right, your coworker, your bosses. So same thing here. Once you do this, go back to home, publish, and you haven't saved this, they will remind you that you need to save your changes. Good to always save. Go to Power BI, demo, select, all right, and they will tell me that there is already a report published earlier on. So replacing this data set, there's a warning, I want to, and I can click replace. Done that. Okay, got it. Now I already have the link inside here, so I will go in and I can simply just reload this page. Zoom. Same link. With an update report you publish and just a simple refresh, and you get the latest option here where the chart is all being updated. So you don't have to keep sending files to your boss. You just use back the same link and you can still continue to check. Okay, let me show you two more things that are very powerful here. Now, let's say you are actually doing a presentation using this. You won't want to show you all these buttons here. You don't want to show all this, right? So what you can do is you can click onto this view and go into full screen. Perfect for presentation without PowerPoint, but you can also embed this in PowerPoint as well, right? So there are also different things that exciting things and features that you can play with. Now, what happens if the chart is still too small and you don't want them to look at the quantity chart? You want to present your sales chart. Okay, let me clear off the view and give you two lines. Now, in your presentation, we talk about focusing and letting your audience focus on what you are sharing and what you're talking about. So there is this button here called focus mode. Click on this, zoom. This chart will take up the whole screen, give you an even bigger view, and it will be a bit comfortable for everyone to look at. And that will be the focus of that visual at this point of the presentation. Now, once you are done with the presentation, you can look at the number. There are two tips here. You don't need to plot all the numbers into the charts and make it very, very ugly and messy. So these two tips that you see, right, it goes according to the month and it goes show you the year, 2018, 2019. So this is perfectly good for a presentation, and you get a very clean, simple visual to look at. That is the power of Power BI. Once you're done, back to report. Now, remember that we also do drill down. So in this chart here, you don't have to create multiple versions of a visual, because right in here, if I am on quarterly basis, I can click two things. I can click this one, drill down into the month, give me a quarter and a month. I can go up by quarter. Now, another version is I can click onto this double arrow, it straight away go into month without showing the quarter, right? So just now that earlier, click here is to show quarter and by month. Now this button here will show you all only on a monthly basis. Now go up. Now, if you want to specifically look at a particular quarter, there's this third button that you can use called drill down. Click on this, turn this on. Now look at what I'm doing. I just go to quarter 3 here. This is the 2019 column quantity. Once I click, zoom, it goes into quarter 3, 2019 and 2018, and it shows me the 3 quarters only. So that gives you a little bit even more focus on the data that you want. Anytime you want to go back to the original view, click drill up to the level. You don't want to, this will be the highest level that you can see. So if you create many levels, you can actually drill down, drill down, drill down. Okay, so, okay, one more thing here. press escape key, go back to exit full screen. Now, another thing, exciting thing that Power BI do is you call it a dashboard. So take this data and say, okay, I want to show the sales number. All right, but I don't want it, I don't want boss to see the report because boss say he only want to see the chart itself. So as the first visual, and unless he needs to, he don't want to look at the details. So what you could do is you can go into this pin here. You can pin this visual, and you can create a dashboard. So existing one, or you can go into a new dashboard. I will call this name as in say YouTube. I'm going to say this report is sales report. Okay, or sales, okay, business performance report. Now, pin this into the dashboard. Okay, once you pin this, you can go to dashboard. And bam, you only see that visual itself. Now, what happens if your boss look at this visual? Okay, I want to look at more details. Now, the beauty of a dashboard is you take the visual, click on it, it jumps back into the report, and you see the full view anytime. So your boss, you can add in a lot more, pin more visuals. You can create a 20-page report here, but only pin one visual from each page so that it gives him the overview of every part of the business. So this is what you can do, all right, with the visual itself. Now, one last part here I want to show you is a very simple one. It's called a card. All right, you don't need to manually calculate the numbers. So let me go back to the Power BI desktop here, how to create this overview, right? Click on to fourth row, this card here, click onto the card. All right, now you can take the field and I'm going to put in, say, the sales amount. Now, sales amount is pretty important because bosses would like to see the numbers and you want to put it somewhere obvious. So you want to look at the sales for the year 2019. You click on 2019, this number will change. 2019, this will be the number, and the chart will correspondingly change to give me more details. So this will be a card. Right, click this one. This is pretty important because with this one, then you can look at overview. In fact, the dashboard itself, you pin this visual, it will be perfectly good because give him an overview and not the details of the monthly chart. Now, so here, same thing, you need to go to format, general, go to effects, change the color. Let's see, I want this to be, again, blue. Maybe you'll contrast with this. Let me use orange as a color. Okay, I want to change the number to white color. So go to the, not the title. Okay, the title will be later. Go to the visual, the call out value. This is called a call out value. Change this one to white. Okay, so if this works pretty well, all good, then some of the sales amount is will be, go to general. That will be on the title itself. Okay, this one is not the title. This is, go to visual, call out value. See, there are tons of parts that you need to explore, right? As a beginner, you will get your hands full for a few months, okay, or at least 1 month. Go to category value here. You can actually make it white so they can contrast and see the numbers. So this will be something that I'll create as a apprentice level, beginner level, to show my boss what I can do in Power BI. Now let's publish this again, save. Okay, Power BI demo, select. Okay, all these things need to be replaced. So I'm going to replace. Success, done. We go to the browser, and in the browser here, let's do a refresh and you see the you will see the card appearing right on top here, publish, with the logo, with the slicer, with 2 charts. Now I can pin this back into the dashboard, existing dashboard, business performance. I have other dashboard all over here. All right, I can pin the number, go to the dashboard. I may not want to show this one anymore. I'm going to give him an overview, so I'm going to delete the tile. We call this a tile. all right, and put this one. So as we do more report, we can fill up the dashboard with the correct number. So this white patch can be adjusted according to the formatting that we do. All right, so this will then give you a good overview of dashboard. Then you can drill down into the report. So hopefully you see the whole thing that I had done for you, from taking the data, perfect data. There's lots of things that you can do in Power Query, but we work with a perfect data first to show you the first level of Power BI report. We do the into the dashboard, design the whole visual, the report itself, one page, what you need to look at, how to share the file, how do you comment with your co-worker, your boss, and how to put in the comments itself, how to create a dashboard. So this is the full suite. Okay, not say the full suite, but all the different stages of a Power data visualization using Power BI. Okay, so I hope you like this presentation, and you will want to start looking at how to do Power BI. Now, if you are keen, you can always join our courses, and I can show you and bring your hand hold you step by step. We can go through this one by one. And I hope you will like what you see. My name is Jason, and I'm from Everyday Excel Business Lab. Okay, look for us. There will be a link that I'm going to create to bring you back to our website. Look at it, inquire, drop us an email, whatever, any questions that you have. All right. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoy, and I hope to see you somewhere face to face or in another webinar.